Hi guys, this is monkeysnuts.com. This isn't going to be a very long vlog because I've got a bit of a cold and a bit of the flu. So apologies if I'm not talking as loud as I normally am, and if my words are a little bit mumbled. This is just going to be a little short vlog about disabilities and using disabilities to your advantage. The majority of people nowadays have a disability of some form of another, some kind of another or something. I myself am autistic. There's quite a few people out there who are autistic and on the autistic spectrum. There's a lot of people who have got dyslexia, dyspraxia. There's all kinds of little things, ADHD. I mean, these are all disabilities that affect your learning capabilities in some form or another. But if you understand, like me, what having that disability entails and how it affects you, you can actually use it to your advantage. I don't mean sort of like in a way fraudulently using it to your advantage. I mean basically just doing what your rights basically are with regards to the disability. I mean, I'm not being very clear, but hopefully you can kind of understand what I mean. Because if with your disability you get treated a little bit differently, that might be an advantage. It might not. You might want to be treated like every other person. Personally, I want to be treated like every other person. My disability isn't very noticeable to strangers. It used to be, but it isn't anymore. So when I go into shops or if I do something, I expect to be treated just like everyone else. However, there are those opportunities, there are those times where I like to be treated as someone with a disability because it can be useful. It can give you more time to do things, and it can be a little bit. It can allow you basically to relax more, and if you understand what I mean. This 4x4 isn't getting up this hill very well. So I'm on the Denby Moors today. I'm on the road that leads to Clinbrennig. I might not go as far as Clinbrennig though, because I've got to kind of like do a loop around and head back to Denby. I'm getting sick of this cough now. It's really hurting my throat. It's currently the April half term, the Easter break. I wanted to do quite a bit more cycling over Easter, however the opportunity hasn't really risen. That was a dodgy overtake. Yeah, I can only really speak from an autistic point of view. I mean, I'm not going to go through my whole life and what's happened in every single part of it. But I mean, what I will say is that I have improved dramatically over the past few years in regards to not being capable, but in terms of understanding my own disability and basically how to how to overcome some of the problems that I've actually encountered in my life. One of the main ones has been sociology, the social aspects of my life. During school, I was very, very shy. I didn't speak to anyone. I didn't really know how to get on with anyone or how to make friends properly. I was quite a loner really at school, but things kind of improved. I started talking to people more, building up my courage, because I started understanding what was going on in my head a little bit more. Yeah, we've got some glorious views around here. Just as we go over this little brow, there's a little bit more of a hill coming up, but I think I'll get an opportunity to overtake this guy down here. Autism basically creates barriers in your life, restricting you from socialising properly, behaving properly, but on the flip side, it can actually improve your ability to learn. You can absorb more, you tend to concentrate on things more. It does have its uses, to be honest, because most autistic children, most autistic people are quite intelligent, because of this ability to learn and take things on. You don't normally have much an attention span, but I mean you can adapt to that really. Yeah, I don't think dyslexia I'm not too sure about dyspraxia, but dyslexia, I don't think it really restricts your abilities that much, because in terms of having a job and things, you can do that fine with having dyslexia, because I know people who I've worked with and who sort of like studying the same things as me, who have got dyslexia and they just seem fine, to be honest. So I'm going to head down towards Kinbreading now. Still stuck behind this slow person. And now we're stuck behind a tractor. Oh god, that was a big grid. This is an absolutely gorgeous area. Unfortunately, they have been cutting down forests and stuff lately. But I suppose that happens in every part of the planet. But it's nice. We're now trying to conserve. They look like they've been doing some replanting here as well. Trying to get the forest back in shape. There's another thing about forests. Nowadays they say we'll plant 2 trees for every tree we cut down. So yeah, what they don't really consider with that idea is how long it actually takes for a tree to grow. it takes about, well, on average really, for normal trees, about 250 years for one to fully grow. Which, obviously, if they're replanting them, it won't happen in our lifestyle, or even in our life length, if you know what I mean. And it won't even happen in our kids' life. Oh, it's Conway. So yeah, I mean, you can see here, all these little trees have obviously been planted, manly planted, and they're trying to regrow it. But if you compare the trees on the right to the trees on the left, they've got a long way to go. I mean, they're probably like a quarter of the height. So they've obviously got a long way to go. You might think that I'm going a little bit fast on this road, but I am doing 60. And I do know this road like the back of my hand because I cycle along here all the time. So like I know that these roads, it's going to start getting a little bit twisty up here now. So, and you can't really see what's over the brow of these little bumps and things. There's a nice long downhill section coming up. I think he's going to be around the next corner or something. Here we go. This is like a really steep downhill bit where on a bike you can get up to about 50 miles an hour. It's not the safest of roads to be getting that kind of speed up on, but I mean, going that speed on a little bike on skinny tyres, knowing that if you come off, you're gonna crash and something's gonna, well, if you do come off your bike at like 40-50 miles an hour, you know full well there's no chance of you actually surviving, or if you do survive, you're gonna have serious long-lasting injuries, which will probably affect your life. But I mean, that's what most cyclists take into account. They understand that if they come off the bike, they're gonna be seriously hurt. Otherwise, well, they wouldn't be doing 40 miles an hour. They'd probably be doing 10 and max around town and things if they really cared about the safety. That's why cyclists cycle on the road as well. It's that increase of speed and that sense of danger, really. That kind of makes you want to do those kind of speeds, and it makes you want to be around traffic. It's not stupidity. It's not sort of like acting like an idiot and just not caring about life and things. It's just that sense of sort of adrenaline that goes through you when there's a sense that you could come off and things could happen and go bad for you. It's like it's gonna rain. So what I'll do is, when I get up to the end of this road, I think there's a crossroads up here, I'm going to go left and then go up the road to hell. It's nicknamed by cyclists because it's a really long uphill and then there's a very, very steep downhill. I think this is it. That's not it, that's a farm. There is a road that juts left down here though, and it goes goes past the Brennig. I'll have to keep an eye out for it. I'm going to have to start heading back now. Oh, well, this isn't where I intended to come, but oh well. I know full well where I am. I must have missed the turning. I'll have to go left and then. Oh, I'm not even there yet. Oh, yes, I am. Is this it? Yes, this is it. So yeah, we're heading back towards Denby now. Some more lovely scenery. In the summer, tend to see a lot of motorcyclists along these roads. We get an awful lot of them in North Wales because they just enjoy the fact that we've got country roads, nice and long and twisty, and so hopefully in the summer I'll get down here again and maybe do another vlog about it. Just trying to think if I know this road, which I think I do, yeah. Yeah, I said that I was going to go up the road to hell, but this isn't it. This is the road to Ruffin, which some might think is hell. But no, Ruffin is a very, very Welsh little town. It's a nice place anyway. You don't have to be on a motorbike to have fun down these roads. You don't even have to be going over the speed limit to do it. It's like I'm doing 60 at the moment, and if you just, well, if you've got to slow down for the bends obviously, but there's a few motorcyclists having a bit of fun. I mean, motorcyclists, the only real danger to them on these type of roads is themselves, with being overconfident and misjudging the road and things. that's a good view. But I suppose, I mean, that's kind of how the majority of countryside motorcycle accidents happen. It normally is the fault of the motorcyclist. Not always. I mean, there's obviously the times where a car driver gets overconfident, goes too fast into a bend, and just basically cocks it all up. Yeah, I mean, I used to come cycling down here, and well, I will in the summer. But these hills, because they're up and down, they're incredibly good for training. Because they differ in steepness, and they're often very, very long. It's like we're going down a long downhill bit now. And you've got to really think about conserving your energy for the steepest parts and stuff like that, and not going all out at the top of the at the bottom of the hill. Because if you go all out at the bottom of the hill for speeding up it, by the time you get to the top, you're going to be pooped and out of breath, and it's not very good, that. I normally cut out these little bits where I'm not really saying much, but because of the scenery around here, what I'll try and do is just fast forward them. So this video might be a bit long, but that's mainly just because I've fast forwarded bits and I've just included it. So hopefully you can watch the whole of this video and actually enjoy the scenery around here, because I'm very fortunate to live around here where there is scenery such as this. I'm always a bit close. So yeah, enjoy this video. Hopefully I'll get past this bloody slow person in a minute.